Okay, so here's Canvas. Okay, now pretty much this is going to look exactly like yours. Once you go to dashboard, all right, you'll see all the courses that you're taking, and you'll see the Anatomy and Physiology 1, and you click on it, and this is the home page. A wonderful picture of myself. Okay, my two buddies are there. Now, this is going to look the same. The only thing different is that you're not going to have this pink bar at the bottom. This pink bar is telling me that I'm in student mode. So I have an idea of what you as a student sees at that perspective. Believe me, on my perspective, I have a whole list of stuff over here because I'm developing the course itself. But I want to see what it looks like from your perspective. So that's what I wanted to try and do. So you just won't have this pink bar down at the bottom of the screen. Now, the first thing I want to say is this is the home screen. Everything I'm going to explain is going to be written over here, okay? You'll see the dates that we're going to meet. Now, of course, it'll be a little bit different. It depends on what semester this is. And then that's in person. And then I also have dates over here, and I'll fix this up. It's kind of like, like 10 to 12 o'clock in the next. I would fix that on yours. But these are the days that we would meet if we were going to do anything Zoom related, like Zoom exams, like online exams. And I have the dates on there. If you click on the syllabus, you'll go right over to the syllabus folder. I talk about the lecture exams. I talk about modules where you're going to find all the information. We're going to go through this all. And I'll explain what everything is. Okay, this thing in yellow is explaining this area here. So if you go to this part here, if you already created an avatar for yourself, a face of yourself, you should see it here. If you go down 4 icons, 1, 2, 3, 4, the inbox. This is the area that I'm telling everybody to check at least 2 times a day. I will check it 2 to 3 times a day, but you'll see a little number there if you're going to have an email, whether from me or from one of your classmates or from another teacher that you have with another class. So do check this often, okay, at least twice a day. All right. So let us go to here, and I'll explain what all this is about. All right. So that's the home screen. We're going to go to modules. Okay. Let me just clean this up a little bit so it's easier. You just click on this, and it kind of minimizes all the stuff that's inside there. Okay. Not a lot to talk about, but try to do somewhat fast. Okay. So the first thing over here in modules, when you click on modules, you get to here and you'll see the syllabus folder. Here you're going to see the syllabus. If you ever need to reprint it out, it'll be over here. If I have to revise anything because it was a snow day or whatever, I'll put a revision over here in this folder too. The video discussion, you want to listen to my wonderful discussion that you're hearing right now, you can hear it again. The netiquette statement is here. How should netiquette is a hybrid of 2 words, right? Internet and etiquette. And it gives you certain things that you should do if you're going to take part in interactions with myself or other classmates. Little things like if you're going to text someone, an easy one to understand is like if you write in all capital letters, that's like almost like you're yelling at the person, like little things like that. So do make sure. Also things about what you should wear. All right, I've actually had a student, a male student, not wearing a shirt while they were taking the exam. I had to close that because the other students are seeing the same thing. And if I have to, for let's say I caught him cheating, I would have to take this video to the dean of students and so forth. It's not going to look very credible if I'm bringing, a picture or a video where the student doesn't have a shirt on. All I'm saying is wear the same clothes that you would if you're coming onto campus. Anyway, take a look at the netiquette statement. They're pretty straightforward, and you can see that. The interaction plan, when we're going to meet together and how we're going to do the exams is on here. Any kind of resources for students is here. And here's that survey I want everyone to do on day 1. Download this, very short. It's about what your major, other courses you're taking, what do you want to be referred to. download it, complete it, and then you'll save it under your name, Jane Smith, Jack Smith, whatever, and then email it back to me. You can attach things over here to an email to me, an email. And try and do that on day one. Just knock that off left field, right? All right. So let's go to this thing over here. If we have to do any online lab exams or quizzes, this is where you're going to find lab quiz answer sheets, meaning like blank student sheets, you know, where you put all your answers. It's already labeled for you. And it will tell you how many you need for the whole semester. So that's where that is, okay? All my presentations, my PowerPoint presentations are all here, okay? It's up to you if you want to print them out. Some of them are very long and colorful. I'll definitely say it's going to eat your cartridges of the printer, but you can do that, okay? But they're all here. Then my video lectures are here. I really want to spend some time in here. Every one of my video lectures are here that I would do. Now, I actually did these, probably 5 years before the pandemic. We were all in the pandemic, and a lot of teachers were starting to record their video record their lectures and stuff like that. I did it before because I couldn't deal with, 3 snow days in a row. So I was kind of ahead of my times with the pandemic. So I did all those. So let me show you how I set this up. Okay, so we click on one of those. And there we go. I'm at the school right now. All right, we'll take the closed caption off. We'll wait until, of course, we got advertisements here. It's free. All right, skip the ads. Okay, so I want you to hear this for a moment. Okay, let me get a speaker.
Basically, let's start off with the basics. What is anatomy? What is physiology? Poiesis means synthesis of. Okay? And this is going to synthesize blood cells. It does not store blood cells. It synthesizes or makes blood cells.
Okay, let me mute this for now. So I don't know if you could hear that very well. My past students have said that they couldn't hear very well with this, but if they get a headset, a very inexpensive headset or AirPods or earbuds, they say when they do that, the sound is 150 times better than what it was. Not that I'm in stereo, but it's much more crisp and clear. So that's my suggestion, is to get some sort of headphone or AirPods than to hear it from the speakers of your computer. Now, the way I set this up is what I call a trifecta. First off, I recorded this in a live lecture. So there's students that I'm actually talking to. I'm not talking to the wall, literally, but I'm actually talking to students. So when a student's asking a question, I'm answering it. And they're pretty good questions. They would be questions that you would probably be asking. So I'm answering most of those common questions. What I have here is the PowerPoint that you all have. I do a lot of what I call, you can see me draw over here. This is what I refer to as art therapy. Okay, so I have that. I do a lot of drawing. And then I kind of use my hands quite often, probably because I'm Italian, but if I want to actually show what flexion is versus extension, you could actually see me. And a lot of students who have commented about these videos, they say this is like one of the better things on here. It feels as though they're in the classroom, as opposed to Khan Academy. I think the Khan Academy is good for certain things, but all you see is him drawing stuff. You're just getting basically this part over here and his voice, but you're missing out on the video. You're missing out on the video. I'm sorry, not the video, but you're missing out on the PowerPoint and me over here. And this kind of, if you see me over here, kind of brings more of you being more attentive to me. But that's what's happening over here. So I just wanted to show you, that's basically what this is. Now, the other thing that I see a lot of students, my successful students tell me what really works for them in this essence is having 2 digital devices. What they meant was one digital device will have this playing. Let's say your laptop is playing this, And sometimes, let me see if I could show you. Sometimes, like here, you might not see these words really well. So on another digital device, a tablet or your smartphone, you actually have the PowerPoint on there that you downloaded. Crystal clear, you can't miss it. So you can actually have a dual thing going on. You have your screen of your laptop having the video of me doing this, right? So you have the lecture video, and then you got a crystal clear PowerPoint, crystal clear PowerPoint on something else. And then the third thing you need is, of course, your notebook. So it feels as though you're in the classroom. It's all right there. And of course, you have the freedom to pause me, rewind me, make me go talk like a chipmunk and make me talk like 1.5 times faster or something like that. So that's the things I want you to do with this. Okay, so let me get out of here, and I want to show you something else about this. Now, this is the first one. This is the AMP1 Intro to AMP, and I have, so it's not just one video over here. There's, for this particular PowerPoint, there's 4 over here. Sometimes it'll go even further, and it goes into 5 or 6 or 7. I have them labeled as usually A01, A02, sometimes B01, sometimes C01, but it's something like that. And over here in the description area, it also explains what this particular video, this is this is the A01, and this is what it's talking about. So actually you could figure out, okay, I don't want to review that. I need to go a little bit further in the PowerPoint. So I'm going to click on this one, the A03, what is he going to talk about here? Oh, there's the body cavities. That's what I want to review. So you can see that, and it's someplace in there. Okay. So that's my video lectures. Go for it. If you want to just do the PowerPoint by yourself, you have the video lectures, use them, okay? So let me go back to Canvas. And we'll go back to modules. Close that. Okay, so again, I showed you the syllabus, the blank answer sheets, or your, not answer sheets, the student sheets, all my PowerPoint presentations, the video lectures. Now let's talk about these review questions. Okay. Now, at the end of each PowerPoint, I have a question set. Now, I put it all together in one zip package. So there's 11 question sets. All you got to do is just download this one thing, open it, and you will find all 11 question review sets in there. Okay. The best way to do these questions, let's say there's 18 questions for the first one. Now, don't do the questions while you're doing the PowerPoints, okay? They're called review questions. So once you go through my video, once you go through the PowerPoint with it, and you took all your notes and you say to yourself, I studied my notes, I'm ready for the test on this, now do the review questions. Close your book, close everything, and give yourself 20 minutes to do 18 questions. Now, it's going to take me longer to explain this than what's going on in your brain, but not just know why B is correct for that question. You better know why A, C, D, and E are incorrect, because I could have questions on those other wrong things. That's what you should be doing over here. I want you to build a better or amplify your testing strategies even more than what you had, okay? If I created these review question sheets to make sure you're building study skills. For instance, you're doing the first question, and the question was about, I don't know, negative feedback, for instance. And you do that, and you put down your answer, and after you go through all the questions, then the answer sheets, because there's no answer sheets, the answers are found in my PowerPoint and video lectures. So when I check your answers, you go to your notebook first. And let's say it was, like I said, negative feedback, and you look in your notebook and you don't have anything written about negative feedback. That's probably because you thought this negative feedback concept was insignificant. If I have a question on it, it's significant. So that means you need to go back to the PowerPoint and go back to the video lecture, find the negative feedback, and write information on your study guide. This is going to help you to get more prepared for the exams that are coming up. So use these review question sheets for that, to build your study skills, to build test-taking strategies. And then after you do the questions, maybe for you to go, to do the questions and check all your answers, maybe it took you, I don't know, 2 hours to do that. Another person will take 4 hours. Maybe another person, I'm just giving you numbers. Another person takes 10 hours. I would not do these together. If you're a person that goes for only 2 hours and you spend time with a person that's going to take 10 hours, you're wasting precious time with that person. You need to, and this is what I think, is everybody should do them on their own and then meet up, maybe 1 or 2 other classmates, and say, let's just go over the answers. Don't do the questions together. Go over the answers. Maybe spend, 4 or 5 minutes on every question. You pick B, you pick B, I pick B. All right, chances are we got that right. What do you think? Was there a better video that you found out on YouTube? Was there a mnemonic that helped you? This is where you're going to be actually discussing with other students about and learn from them about how to get better study skills. Oh, I never thought about doing a mnemonic like that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you start building up these kinds of things. You start learning, like, well, I made a chart, and maybe you want to try the chart. It doesn't work, but you want to get people at the same level as you and learn from that. So that's my suggestion, is to do the questions on your own, but then go over the answers after you go over the answers and see if you could pick up any good pointers from classmates, okay? And the last thing I want to say about these review questions, I don't submit these. They are not going to be graded. I'm not going to. Two things. One, I'm not going to give you the answers to these. Well, here's one reason. This is one of the things, is that 20 to 25% of my lecture exams are going to have these questions on them verbatim. So I don't want students to memorize answers, because that's not the reason why I made these review questions. I'm rewarding people who are doing the questions correctly by putting them on lecture exams. But I can't put answer sheets, because then some students will just go to the answers, just memorize them, and that's not working properly. The other thing I wanted to say was I wouldn't give you the answers. However, let's say there's 18 questions. Chances are you're going to find, let's say, 16, 17 answers, but you're still stumped on 1 or 2. If you email me and you prove to me that you have gone through that question, you've gone through it and say, hey, Dr. Gamaro, I understand that A, B, and C are incorrect because your video says this and your PowerPoint says this and so forth. But I'm confused about the D and E because your slide 21 says this, but then you talk about this as an example, and now you're alluding that E is correct. Can you help me out here? Now, I'm still not going to give you the answer, but I might say, if you go to slide 42 and understand about the feedback mechanism of positivity, you might be able to answer it a little bit better. See what you can do on that slide. Most cases, the student comes back and emails me and says, wonderful, you just cleared up a whole mess of stuff for me. So because I'm not going to always be with you. So you got to build study skills to know how to go and find and research this kind of stuff without me around. Right? So I'm trying to build these study skills and test-taking strategies for you to make the best student that you could possibly be. Okay? So that's a little bit about the review questions and why I highly recommend you do them. Then you're going to have these laundry lists of lab structures, and I will give you these in class. Okay. However, if you need another one, you could always reprint it out over here. In other words, here's the list of bones and bony structures that you need to know. Here's a list of muscles and their actions that you need to know, and so forth. So this is really for lab. So we'll get more into that later in class. These are supplemental kind of bone packets. If you want to look at this, when you get the box of bones, you'll want to, they'll have a checklist in them, but I want you to make sure when you return it that you have all the bones there, because if there's missing bones, there will be fees. So I want you, if you need to print out the checklist because you lost it, it's there. These bone packets, we'll talk about it as we get closer to the bone unit, but they're optional to do over here. Lab models, right now, there's nothing in here, but I took many, many pictures of the lab models that are in our lab room, and different angles and stuff. So they're unlabeled, and you'll have full access to this, but I didn't want so much of it to show right now. But when we get to each unit, I will put them in there. And then supplemental material, that's really just anything. If I find a new picture, a new video, you know, something like a PDF file that looks really nice that, you know, if there was confusion, I'll add them in here, but there's nothing here now. So that's what's going to be found in modules, okay? Now, let me show you what's over here. Let me just, grades, obviously your grades will be over here. I'm pretty fast with grading things, so you'll get them in here. And anything that you want to get to library resources, you know, look up a book or whatever, I kind of put that in there too. It's really not specifically for this class, but I kind of put that in with all my Canvas courses. So we knocked off home modules, grades, and library resources. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is quizzes. This is where we're going to have, if you have an online quiz or exam, and you'll see it if we're going to have it on the home page and in the syllabus. So if you don't need to worry about this. You could just go to the next section, okay, of this video discussion. But if you do have video lectures, online exams for this semester, you want to hear about this. This is basically where you're going to find the exams. Now, right now, this particular semester is going to have a lecture exam 1, a lecture exam 5, a quest, and a bonus quiz that is going to be all found on, or at least they're going to have online exams during here. And it also tells you the dates and the times that they will occur, okay? Right now, you can't click on it because it's not open yet, but when it is open at that time, you'll click on it and you could begin the exam with a Zoom invitation. I'll talk about that later. We also have a practice quiz over here. You could take it anytime during this semester. Nothing will change with your grade with this. It's really there. It has 25 questions of things you should have learned in biology that is going to be utilized in A&P1 or A&P2. Again, it's not going to change your grade at all. It's mainly there to be able, so that you're familiar with getting with going through one of these exams up here. Okay, we go back and forth. You can do it as many times as you want, so you're going to be more familiar with the style and the format of these exams. So that's what's over there. Okay, so that is pretty much. I can't even do this because I'm in student mode. So let me go. Account, no, courses. That's where I go. Okay, so you'll see all the list of courses. So anyway, that's what you're going to find on Canvas. Again, everything I kind of explained to you is written here, and where you're going to find things. Okay, but again, make sure you check your inbox here at least twice a day, every day. I will do the same thing too. Okay, so that is Canvas.